friends, in our last class, we talked about the two types of changes, chemical changes and the physical changes. And we even established the fact that whenever a chemical change takes place, then only a chemical reaction can occur. So, guys, we have established this thing. But now the question that comes to the mind is that what type of changes that can indicate that a chemical reaction has taken place? Well, for that, let's go to the laboratory and do some activities and find that out. So guys, in our first activity, we will see that what happens on burning of a magnesium ribbon. Well, for this activity, let me remind you a certain thing. You cannot do this without supervision, and if you have to do this, you have to go to the laboratory and do it under the guidance of your teacher. Well, first thing that comes to the mind is that what all do we need for the activity? Well, for that, we will be needing the magnesium ribbon, pair of tongs, a watch glass, and a burner. So when you have collected all these things, there is one additional thing that you would be needing, that is a sandpaper. So when you have collected all of this stuff, now let's begin the activity and see what happens on burning of magnesium ribbon. So guys, the first step that you have to do is when you take the 3 to 4 centimeter long magnesium ribbon, you have to rub it with the sandpaper. Now you must be thinking that why do we rub it with the sandpaper? Well, let me tell you. Like in case of iron, you know this thing very well that whenever it is exposed to the external environment, rusting occurs. Correct? A brown layer is formed on the case of iron. Similarly, in case of magnesium, a white colored layer is also formed. That is, the oxide layer is formed. Now that can interfere with the burning and we do not want that. It will slow down the process. So to avoid that, it is generally observed that we have to clean it with the sandpaper. Now guys, take this clean magnesium ribbon and hold it with a pair of tongs. What you have to do is next is start burning. But when you're doing that, while burning the paper, you have to keep it away from the eyes. Well, that is for our safety. And what do we observe? While we burn it, we observe that white colored ash is formed. So we have to collect that ash in the watch glass as well. So the reaction, or I can say the activity, was just this only. What you did was you took the magnesium ribbon, you burnt it and collected the white colored ash. Now my question is, can you tell me what is this white colored substance which we have collected? Think about it, guys. Well guys, if you are thinking that this is the magnesium oxide, you're absolutely correct. Because what we have done in this reaction, we have taken up the magnesium ribbon, then it reacts with the oxygen present in the air and leads to the formation of magnesium oxide. So guys, as I said in the beginning, there should be something to indicate the chemical reaction. And do we have that? Well, yes, we have that. This white colored powder that we have obtained is indicating that a chemical reaction has taken place. Well, guys, I'm not talking about the equation right now, but in terms of very simple reaction, we can write it as magnesium plus oxygen leading to the formation of magnesium oxide. Correct? So, this is how we talk about a chemical reaction in very simple terms. Well, you know what? Let's do one more activity just to confirm this type of indication and what happens and how to identify the chemical reaction. Well, again, for this one, first of all, you need to collect all the stuff that we need for the activity. Well, guys, for this activity, we will be needing zinc granules, dilute sulfuric acid, thistle funnel, a conical flask, thermometer, and a rubber cord. So once we have collected all this stuff, now let's begin with the activity. So first of all, what you have to do is take some zinc granules in the conical flask. Now if I ask you what is the color of these zinc granules, you will say that they appear to be bluish gray in color. Correct? So we have seen that. Now just put the cork on the mouth of the conical flask, and as you can see, there are 2 holes in that. Now what you have to do next is put thermometer in the one hole and the thistle funnel in the other hole. So now we have set up the apparatus and we are ready to take up the use of the dilute sulfuric acid. Now add approximately 5 ml of dilute sulfuric acid into this conical flask. After that, do you see something different happening? And guys, there is one thing with the acid. Whenever you are handling the acid, do it very carefully. So, the crystals, which were bluish gray in color, after adding the dilute sulfuric acid, but now the color is something different. It is white in color. What has just happened? Well, guys, after adding the acid, there is some sort of reaction that might have taken place, and that led to the formation of some white colored compound. And along with this, some evolution of gas is also happening. Now, one more thing that I want you to do, just touch the conical flask. Whoa, the conical flask is hot now, and that you can see even by the rise in temperature. So, guys, can you list down the changes that have happened in this case? Well, let's do that. In this case, we observed that the color of zinc granules has changed, then the temperature has also risen, and the evolution of gas takes place. And what did I say in the beginning? I said we have to see that some indicator is there or not that is going to tell us the chemical reaction has occurred or not. So can we say in this case that a chemical reaction has occurred? Well, yes, we can say that because there are some changes that totally indicating some chemical reaction taking place. So in very simple words, if I say, we can write it as zinc plus the dilute sulfuric acid leading to the formation of zinc sulfate and the hydrogen gas. And as I said, right now we are just talking about the basic reaction. We will learn how to write the equation in our next class. So guys, from the two activities that we did today, there are some of the points that we can conclude. Some of the changes that indicate the happening of a chemical reaction. And what are they? Let's take a look at that. Well guys, if any one of these observations is present, you can say that the chemical reaction has taken place. That could be the change of state, the evolution of gas, change in temperature, the formation of precipitate, or even the formation of a new substance. Well guys, are we missing out something? Well, yes, one more, that is the change of color. We have done that today. So guys, these are the changes that can indicate whether a chemical reaction has taken place or not. So guys, this was all for today's class where we have studied how the different type of changes that can indicate the happening of a chemical reaction. Well, you can look out for the changes around you as well. As I always say, chemistry is around us only. All we have to do is just take a look at it more deeply. So guys, we will learn about the chemical equations and the symbolic representations in our next class. Before that, let's summarize what we have done in this class. The burning of magnesium ribbon in air leads to the formation of white colored ash. That is the formation of magnesium oxide. On the reaction of magnesium with oxygen, it leads to the formation of magnesium oxide. The reaction of zinc granules with dilute sulfuric acid leads to the evolution of vapors, change in color and rise in temperature. Overall, the reaction can be written as zinc plus dilute sulfuric acid leading to the formation of zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. The following observations helps us to determine whether a chemical reaction has taken place or not. They are change of state, change of color, evolution of gas, rise in temperature, formation of precipitate or the formation of a new compound.